Hello everybody, it's SuffolkBlue, all the way from merry old England. How the devil are you? I hope you are well. Welcome back to Minecraft, welcome back to the Direwolf20 mod pack, welcome back to the V for Variety server. And today I am dubbing this audio on over the top, because my crash has also managed to wipe out my sound settings. I wasn't aware. Recorded all this episode, it's wonderful stuff you're about to see, but sadly my voice was missing, so I've had to dub over the top. But here it is! This is the Infusion altar that we made last time with a few modifications and a huge room underneath it, and I'm going to explain what all of this is all about. I've added to the Infusion altar, you can see that I've added some candles and some creeper heads around the runic matrix, which is there in the middle. So there you go, you can see the candles. It's all symmetrical because I was talking to RJ and I was talking to Digi, and they reckoned that it has to have all this sort of gubbins around it, otherwise it don't work. So there you go. So we've placed in all these heads and all this stuff around it to hopefully keep the flux, the warp, which, you know, when stuff all goes wrong, you don't want it. So this all apparently helps. It doesn't matter that it's below it, as I understand, as long as you have it sort of surrounding it in a symmetrical fashion. So we've got the candles on the edge and the heads in the middle. And then round the very edge of all of this, on this cobblestone wall, which I will show you in a second now, we have placed some Essentia jars. And you can see from the Essentia jars that they're not, they've got pipes on the top, but those pipes aren't connected to anything. And basically what I'm trying to do is test whether or not my plan of being able to fill all of these Essentia jars, all 49 of them, from underneath the system, underneath the altar, will actually work. So what I'm testing really in this is we are going to do some magic in a second, and I'm testing whether or not the essence is going to be able to get from the jars here, from the jars across into the middle. And you can see that I've spread them around each corner and halfway through, just so that I can check that the Essentia, the fumes, if you like, can get over all of the necessary bits. Now what I'm saying here is that we've got the 5 alembics underneath with pipes, and the bellows and everything else is all underneath, so we can simply burn stuff. And I'm going to have a valve which will allow me to switch between filling upstairs, so filling all of these up, and filling downstairs jars and stuff for the shop that I want to make in Spawn Town, because I really would like to make a shop in Spawn Town for Essentia and crystals and all that sort of gubbins. So we've got all the necessaries. Yeah, I'm just talking again. Still, this is very difficult. Whenever you have to dub over the top, you know, when you make an episode, it flows normally really well, and you just talk, and it's really easy. But unfortunately for me, because I don't have that audio, I sort of now have to try and sort of remember what I was talking about, and then dub it over the top. It's very difficult. You know, it's not an easy job, this YouTubing stuff. It's not an easy job. So I've got all the necessary Essentia up here. I've got 6 of them, and we've also got some shards. I'm just going to put my armour back on. You notice I've got the wrong boots on, because my boots have broken, which is a sad and tragic fact. But what we're going to look at making today is the next wand level, which is the Silverwood wand core. Here it is, and you can see there's a Silverwood block there for the Silverwood rods. You can see a balance shard, air shard, igneous shard, aqua, terra, order, and entropy. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place around, and Digi joined us at this point, and we say hello to Digi. Remember, this is a V for Variety server. All of these people are playing the same server as I am, so do make sure that you go and check out their channels. I'm just going to let Digi know that we're recording, and that way he won't swear or say anything he shouldn't do. Not that he ever does, you know. Infusion and explosions. That's what we're calling this episode. I can't type tonight. I don't know what was wrong with my typing on this episode, but even so, whew. Deary me. So, we have a balance shard at the top. Let's get the book open. There it is. And we'll have a look. And it goes, we need to see what order it goes in, because you've got to keep the order right. So, balance shard, entropy shard, order shard. So, what I'm next going to do, balance at the top. Entropy. Then it was an order shard, but I think I probably forget. Yes. Memory's not so good now. Just celebrated a birthday, you see. I'm now 37, so your memory starts to fade. So we put an order shard in. I suddenly can't find my order shard. There it is. There it is. On goes the order shard. Next one. Tear up. Leave a space, because again, we're doing this equal. So I suddenly realise, actually, I don't want that there at all. I want to leave a space so that I have 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, and the balance shard, and that makes it equal with a gap. So we want to take that off just by landing and right clicking. There we go. And then romp. And then we want, what do we want next? Check the book, check the book, check the book. Yeah. So then we want igneous and air. Igneous and air. igneous, and air. There we go. So that's all the necessary components in the altar, in the infusion altar, balanced. And the next job really is to set it all off, make it go. So I have a little check. Let's just make sure everything's in the right place. Looks like it's in the right place to me, Suffolk. Oh, I haven't put the middle bit in. I forgot the middle bit as well. When I actually have done this, I forgot the middle bit. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so just a silver wood log in the middle, which is what we're going to infuse to turn into. And then you can see the magics that we've got around the edge, all the basic primal elements and Procantio as well. So there we go. It's all in place. The next thing to do is to give it a smack with the wand, I think. So there's the Terra. And you can see there's labels on each of these jars, so it helps me see what they are. So there's Terra, there's the Igneous, just flying around, there it is. The Petitio, the Aqua, the Air, the Procantio, and Order, which is, we're going to show that. There it is, Ordo. So there's all the necessaries, and they're all full jars, so we've got plenty of essence to work with. So really, what am I saying? Why do I keep going back to Aqua? I don't know. But in any case, what we need to do is get our wand. So let's hope SuffolkBlue goes and gets his wand in a second, and then we'll give it a smack and see what happens. Get the wand, get the pickaxe ready, because if anything goes wrong, I'm going to have to knock out that middle runic, the runic thing in the middle. So if it all starts to go crazy and there's lightning and things are blowing up, we knock out the middle, and that stops it dead in its tracks. That's the plan anyway, but hopefully nothing will go wrong. And let's give it a set on the pedestal and give it a smack. Off it goes. And you can see straight away the lightning. It's a very cool effect. I have to say that for this mod. This is a really cool effect. And I was really pleased at this point because you can see that the essence is able to travel up from the position that I've put those jars in into the altar. So they aren't stopped. They're able to reach the items in the middle, which is what we wanted, because if they were too low I would have to raise them up and it would alter the whole design of my of the thing. Oh, now see, bang, got some flux. I immediately cannot remember at this point what goes on this pedestal. Now, obviously it's Aqua, and I can see that it's Aqua. Now looking at back in video land, I can sit here and go, oh, SuffolkBlue, it's Aqua, you idiot. What are you doing? And I should have been much quicker at this point, because I sort of went into a bit of a panic, and I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I don't know what that shard should be, and I can't get that, so I'm going to hit it. And you do, and then the whole thing explodes. You lose 2 hearts. Bit of an ouchie. Luckily it doesn't get destroyed though, it's all still there. And we just need to make a little bit of a repair job to get all of this working. But then, look, we've got a load of mess everywhere as well. So we're now going to clear up a load of mess. I'm just going to clear up this bit and that bit. You don't want to leave flux laying around too long. You can't do that, Suffolk, because it's going to put on the pedestal, isn't it? Stupid. So you're going to have to take the pedestal away. But if you can't leave the flux laying around too long, because unfortunately it's going to make nasty stuff and spread. You don't want that happening. And now I've stood in it, so I've now got flux flu, which is not good either. Oh, disastrous first attempt. But that's what happens when it goes wrong. So there you go. It was quite good to be able to demonstrate when stuff goes bang and it all goes slightly wrong. The next thing we need to do is just repair the altar and get it back up in ship shape, because we have all of the necessary stuff to just try again. All we've got to do is put things back in place. You can't... How do you get there? So what I ended up doing is just building a tower, sticking it back the runic thing. Bit of a long punch. Should have landed to do that. There we go. And then all you have to do is then re-hit the runic matrix in the middle with the wand. Doesn't cost you anything. And there we go. It starts to spin again, and it becomes a fully functioning. And then all we need to do is just put back our... see, they said there, look, Suff, you're the Thorm dude now. They're talking about golems, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I've just blown myself up with my own infusion altar. So I have to say hardly. I can't spell tonight. There's some really terrible typing going on. Just blew myself up. There we go. Terrible. Hitting all the wrong keys. So, yes. So that's what happens when it goes wrong. If you get everything sort of messed up, then boom. You have to sort of break it up and start again. And unless you can remember what goes where. Let's pop back our candles. I didn't put the middle ones back, did I? Ah, that was interesting. I obviously forgot to do that. Never mind. So the next thing to do is we start again. We prepare ourselves. And I'm going to write... Now, at this stage, I thought, nah, hold on. They're not having this happening again. So what I did is I read the thing and I wrote down in a book, which I've got next to me, the balance, the air, the ignis, the aqua, the terra, the ord, and the entropy, the shape, the order that they go in. Because if we did lose them again, I wanted to be able to make sure that we could easily put them back quickly, and I wouldn't have to sit there and go, oh, I don't know which one goes where, because that would be silly. So I'm just sitting here writing them all down whilst I'm talking to you here, so I can make sure that I've got an easy to access, because everything in the book's a pain when you're in the middle of a panic. RJ laughing at me. He's blown up far more than I have. Right, here we go. So we go back to putting on the shards. Let's get all the necessary equipment and all the necessary ingredients. Luckily, I noticed there that it doesn't use up any magic to start the machine, so you don't need to, have any magic on a wand to start a machine. You just need to have a wand. So let's have a look at the ordering. Balance goes there. There we go. We've got entropy and order weren't destroyed. They weren't used up by the machine, so that worked out pretty good. And I look at this and I'm working it out. So entropy. So we want terror on this one. Space. And then aqua. Yep, aqua. And then igneous. Igneous. Come on, SuffolkBlue, you can read quicker than this. And air. Everything's in place. We know where everything is. We've still got the silverwood tree trunk in the centre, so we've got everything that we need there. Next thing we're going to do is just check around. Everything's in the right place. Excellent. Get the wand ready. Plonk ourselves on this platform, which allows us to see everything. That's what we wanted to do, is to see everything in case anything should move. So everything looks like it's all right. Runic is moving. Off we go. We started off. Keep nice and high so we can see a bit of a flash of lightning again. Up comes some more of the essence. But it does seem to be going through without too much fuss, which is good. See all the energy, and you can if you focus on the runic matrix, you can see what essence it's needing and which ones it's got. So you can go to Peditio. So it's got everything there. Looks good. Lightning flashing away. It's a great effect. It's a really, really good effect. It's now draining away, taking away the shards. Yep. Terra. Order. Entropy. Watch the middle. Boom! We've made a rod core. Silverwood rod, which is brilliant because that will allow us to make our wand. And I was very pleased because I was like, finally, I've actually managed to make something. So I had to tell the guys, obviously. Still typing as if I'm using, I don't know, clubs to type with. I don't know what's wrong with my typing tonight. It was ridiculous. One core. Woohoo! Great news. Very pleased. And that also proved that everything works. So these jars weren't being obstructed by their height, they weren't being obstructed by the thing on the top, so it was being able to go over the top of the system and get to the runic matrix in the middle. So it doesn't matter what I put around that edge, I can put all the jars around that edge and then encase them in a little bit, trying to make them a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but remembering that we're going to have to leave them facing, unhindered towards the matrix in the middle. The next thing is to decide what wand caps I want to put on them. I could have put gold on, but then I thought, no, we'll go straight for thaumium because we need thaumium caps. But you make inert ones, so you need to charge them. So just making the wand caps is not enough. You have to also go through a process of infusing them on the Infusion altar in the same way, and I get to that in a second. But the first thing we need to do is go inside the house and make ourselves, just get through the door before I lock myself out, is to make ourselves some thaumium caps. Now we've got some thaumium metal around here somewhere, and I remembered that I had some. There it is, and I'm going to need two of those stuff. Come on, there we go. I'm going to need two of those because I need 9 each, 10 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I need 10. So I would need two of those because you only get 9 in one. Do you know what I mean? There it is, and you can see we are going to need a touch of magic, which is fine. Put the wand in. Boom. Excellent. Now we need to check the book and work out what spell, if you like, we're going to need to do, or what incantation on the old Infusion altar are we going to need to do to make these magical. It looks like we're going to need some Salus Mundus, which is that whole Thaumaturgus salt. So Salus Mundus, or Thaumaturgus salt, as it's more commonly known, is crafted by exposing a balanced vis shard to high enough heat that it shatters into a fine powder. Like its mundane counterpart, Thaumaturgus salt adds flavour, metaphorically speaking, to any magical recipe or formula. It is a strong binding agent able to hold the most disparate of magical elements together. So I think we just need to smelt it. I wasn't sure whether I needed to use the special, alamite stuff, but I thought I've got 4, so we'll give it a test. So we pop them into this furnace, and sure enough, it works fine. But of course, that means I need to make some more in order to be able, because I've only got 4 balance shards, and I need 6 for both caps. So I put away. I've got a lot of rubbish in my inventory, which was unfortunate. I normally clear this out before I start recording, but for some reason I sort of left myself with a load of stuff. That doesn't go there, that goes in that chest. Yeah, that's the one call, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Everything else is okay. Put the food on the bar just in case we get hungry. Good. So, is that working? Yes, it is. So we know it's working. It doesn't have to be special Adamite type, fuel. Coal works brilliantly. Let's take that Salus Mundus out. And let's quickly go and make some balance shards. Now the recipe that I use for balance, I don't know why I use it, it's probably the first time I've ever used it, so it was the first recipe I used to make them, so it's the one that I still use, but it doesn't matter. I don't need that one, I need fire shards. Thank you. Yeah. Well done, Suffolk. We're going to make 2 of these, so I'm going to need some Petitio. You get 2 of each of these, so you want 4 of those. We're going to want 4 air, 4 aqua, 4 terra, and 4 ordo. And the igneous, the extra primal one that's missing, is made up of the shard that you're putting in. That's the way it works. So that water is not full, so we're going to get a bucket quickly. Top it up. Very nice. And let's pop this in. So terra, ordo, aqua, Petitio, and the fire shards. Bing! Balance shards returned, which is fabulous. Let's go and smelt those down straight off. And that will give us the 2. But then I suddenly think to myself, but hold on, that's going to give me an equal amount, and what I'm going to need is spares, because if we have a flux situation where things go badly wrong and the infusion altar blows something up, then I'm going to need to be able to replace that Salus Mundus very quickly, and I haven't got any spare, so straight away I'm quickly going to make myself another couple of balance shards using that same recipe. Don't know what happened there, but I missed the cauldron with that one, but luckily picked it up and I noticed. Quickly throw it in. Throw it in. Beautiful. Some more balance shards. And we're just going to smelt these down as well and take the remaining salts out of there. Right, let's go and do some magic. Got the wand. Got the book. Let's do it. Check again, so we're going to have 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom in a triangle formation, and we need Aurum and Potentia. Now luckily, downstairs, I can't remember whether I've shown you downstairs before. I might have to check through some of my previous episodes to check whether I have actually shown you downstairs or not, as in the back part of downstairs. I know I've shown you the working bellows and everything, but I didn't know whether I'd shown you the wisp storage area. But anyway, this is again our bellows room where we do all our cooking up. That will get moved eventually, but here we go. This is where we're storing from the wisp farm above. Upstairs I've got a wisp farm where we store every single one of the essences that drop from a wisp. And as you can see, we're getting some quite high numbers there, 102, so we've got over 6,500 essence, primal essence for Ordo and Fire and the rest of them. But let's take some Aurum, and let's take some Potentia. Luckily we've got enough. We need 12 Potentia, so we've got 30, so we've got enough for 2, and we've got plenty of Aurum, so that's all good. Yeah, 12 and 6, so we've got plenty of both. Let's take these upstairs. Set them up on the infusion altar. Up. And let's see if we can't create our caps. Out we go. Starting to get night time, I think, or dawn. Probably dawn. Okay, we just need to put down these 2 here. Doesn't matter really where. At this stage we know that everywhere works on this ring, so that's okay. And the next thing to do is to put our Thaumium cap in the middle. Boom. And then we need to put our Salus Mundus. One there. And one there. And one there. That gives us the triangle that we were looking for. And the next thing, obviously, is to give it a smack with a wand. Off it goes. The magic works. look and see. Do we get any flux this time, or does it work first time? Magic and the Potency has already been drawn in. The Aurum will be drawn in as well. Oh, Electric Shock. Did you see that? Got to be careful. It's going to try and kill you. In goes the Aurum. And then it's going to start already drawing in the Salus Mundus. Beautiful. All three of them have gone in. Boom. There is now a charged Thaumium Cap. Excellent. So we just need to put the next one on. And then we need to put the Salus Mundus in. And at this point, I realise I haven't picked up my spares. So if anything had happened at this point, I'm like, oops, we haven't got any spare to put on here. So I'm just going to quickly go and get some of those spares, because I think to myself, nope, no good. Go back to the oven quickly and go and get the spare. Because the last thing you want to do is have to remake a Thaumium Cap and everything else. You know, it's just a waste of materials, because you're too lazy to go and get the thing that you forgot. So let's go and get that. I need to fill up that cauldron again, that reminds me, looking at it. Here we go. Marvellous. Back outside. So we've got spares now, so we should be alright. Out and out and out. Oof. I can't wait for all that to be in one place, rather than being inside that base. Okay. Beautiful. Looks beautiful. We've got the spares, got the extras. Talk about the next episode there and what I'm going to do with that carpet. I can't remember what I said now, but we probably won't be doing that anyway. Here we go. Let's give it a hit. Off it goes. Stand well back. Off goes the magical Potentia being drawn in, and the Aurum again. I've said it before, but I do. I love this mechanic. It's so clever. Drawing it in. In goes the Salus Mundus. Beautiful. And there's our second Thaumium Cap. Fantastic. Let's go and put that together. And at this point I'm wondering, I suppose I just put it in a workbench, because that's all I could think of, is I must just put it in a workbench. I don't think I have to use the Infusion altar to sort of join it all together, and indeed you don't. You just need to use the workbench. In we go. Door. That door becomes a bit of a pain, actually. I might have to take that off. Actually, probably not going to matter too much, because we won't be in here for very much longer. So we're going to need, as you can see there, 54. Now, I don't have 54 in my wand. And the problem I have is I don't have a full suit of the armour, of the Element's armour. And I'm going to need to make, very quickly thinking about it, my boots. My boots are missing, so what I need is some cloth. And I'm like, now how the heck do I remember how to make this? So we take the wand off, and we go, right, where's my book? Let's have a look for it. Now, it's under... I couldn't find this last time. Oh, this is the first thing I wanted to check is, do I have to build a gold one first to be able to make the Thaumium one? You don't. So that was a waste of a read. And I read the next one and say, actually, no, it doesn't say anything in there about having to go from gold to Thaumium, so clearly that's not something that we need to do, so we don't want that. So instead, I think to myself, well, the only problem I've got there must be my clothes. So what we're going to need to do... Haven't got any cloth available in there, which is annoying. And then I have to try and find, in here somewhere, is the cloth one. And it's there. It's right there, SuffolkBlue. SuffolkBlue! You've gone past it. Go down. Up. It's there. No, don't leave. Don't leave. No, I know, you don't need them. You've got them already. Come on. Oh. SuffolkBlue. Such an idiot. So now I have to go through and I check all for no reason. I mean, you've just seen it. And I think to myself, no, it's not a tinkering thing. But then I go to it completely the wrong way around, and I find it from that route. I love how my brain works. So I need wool and string. Well, luckily we have a lot of wool and string. Because on my mob farm I've captured various animals which are useful. So I've got a blizz, I've got a sheep, I've got a cow, I've got a creeper, I've got a witch, I've got a skeleton druid. I've got all the necessary interesting things, so I can get lots of bones, or lots of wool, or lots of, well, anything really that I need. Blaze rods or blizz rods and all that sort of stuff. So as you can see, we've got quite a few, 7,000 wool, we've got plenty of wool. And the first thing we're going to do is we go along to the pulverizer. And we're going to pulverize that because we need some string. So 16 of these will give us the full stack. I worked that out after I put 8 in. I don't know why I put 8 in, because I knew it was 16. Bit of an idiot. See, at this point, my brain all excited about the fact that I'm about to get a new wand, I think. And I add it up, and I'm like, oh no, 32, that's not right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, 8. So, we're getting the string. The next episode is what I'm going to talk about as well at this stage. So the next episode coming up, we're going to have to go back to a building episode. We're going to fix the floor in the wall around our base because I don't like that red carpet. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I want to keep the underfloor lighting, which is the glowstone strips, and I want to put something on top, but I think it's not going to be a bright red carpet because it just doesn't look right. So that's going to have to be changed. And also, I want to make a start on the flooring of the cathedral. So where our infusion altar is, I'm going to have to put the rest of the jars in place, so that they're all there, and then I'm going to have to be in a case of like, okay, let's build around it. So here we go, we've got the boots. Let's put the boots on. Put the boots on. I sort of think about making a whole new set, but I don't need a whole new set. I just need boots. Although I am going to need to make a new set in a second. Baubles, check those. I've got my Terror Ring on, but that's fine. And my Angel Ring. And my Viz Stone, which is slowly not recharging anymore because it's run out of mana, I think. And then I look at my wand, and you can see that I haven't got enough power in my wand. But I'm going to have a go anyway, because I'm an idiot. Because I can't remember how much I need. So we put that in. We put the cap in, the wand in, and the caps. And you can see it definitely is below 50 now, so we can definitely make it. What we can't do is make it with the current level of essence in that wand. There's not enough magic in that wand. So we're going to quickly go and fly to the nodes. So yeah, so what we're going to do next time is the flooring in this cathedral needs to be fixed and done. Where that, do you see where that dirt hexagon is? I want to do a gold embossed in the floor thermometer. Again, it's part of the decoration, just to make the hallway of the cathedral, if you like, where the Infusion Cathedral really stand out. Obviously, I'm going to need to make a lot of void jars as well for the whole of, for all of the round, the top part of the infusion chamber. Lots of pipes. I'm going to have to move my whole infusion system, my essence creating system, out from the base that it's in at the moment and move it underneath the infusion altar. That's going to be a job, actually. That's a prep job of quite some proportion, so that might take a little while to do. Probably won't do that on camera. I'll do that off camera, but show you the final design so you can see. We also need to make some elevators so I can go in and out and up and down in here. You can make thaumatological ones, the ones that make you float up and down really slowly. I might make some of those because that's probably more in keeping with the theme of the base rather than the I think it's extra utilities, but whatever one it is, the elevator. Yeah, we'll probably work on that. But next time, probably get the floor sorted in the walls, then they're done. The walls are pretty much done. And we can then focus really on the cathedral. Thank you so much for all the support that I've had, by the way, both on Votable and on Player.me for all the building work that I've been doing. It really means a lot, actually, to have you guys look at this stuff and leave me comments and feedback. I really appreciate it, because otherwise, who are you building it for if it's not for you guys? So there we go. Dun, 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 dun. Bing! We have made our first Thormy embossed silver wood wand. It can hold 100. Which is fantastic, and as you can see, I'm very happy about this. It's awesome. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please remember to leave a like and remember to subscribe, and have a look at all the other players which are going on in the channel at the moment, because there's a lot of other stuff going on too. But until next time, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.